Good morning to our shareholders. Welcome to this July 7th, 2021 presentation with Francis Letourneau, CEO at New RAN Wireless Inc., and myself, Frank Candido, Investor Relations at New RAN Wireless Inc. Francis, good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. We're working hard to close this financing, and it's coming soon. So I'm happy to discuss the financing with you, Frank, this morning.
Well, since you've already mentioned it, let's get into it. You've announced a financing at a buck 53 a share, with a full warrant at $2.40 a share
Exact.
for 24 months, with an acceleration clause at $2.64 a share. If the stock trades at or above that level for 10 consecutive days, the company can accelerate the exercise of that warrant. So,
Exactly.
Francis, tell us, why was this financing $11 million, to be precise? Why was this financing important for the company?
We needed to see Cameroon completed, DRC kicked off, have working capital to get to the revenue stage with those projects, and have continued investment in the launch of our R&D products. So that's mainly the rationale behind the amount that was raised in this private placement.
Okay, well, since you brought up Cameroon and the kickoff of DRC, if you permit, why is it important that the company deploy that Cameroon contract in its entirety at this stage? Because I know that you've already started the deployment of that contract with the working capital the company already had. But why is it important to complete that contract immediately and also kick off DRC? What's important about that for our shareholders?
Yeah, just to go back on what you just said, some of the equipment or most of the equipment for the first 48 sites are on ships or vessels right now on their way to Douala to plan for deployment, as I already mentioned, starting July, August for the first range of product. But why it's important? Because you need to ignite or to prove the business model. You need to move from what has been an estimates up to now to real data, to CapEx validation, to OpEx validation. So of course we've gone through all of those numbers with Orange. We did not did that on when we did the estimate. That was based on data, but we want to prove it to ourselves. We want to prove it to our market, and we also want to demonstrate those numbers to the banking institution to raise more capital and debt to cover those projects, by the way. So it's important that we get to that stage. It's important that we demonstrate that those assumptions are the reality or more, because our estimates are that we took the low side of thing. We think that we can probably achieve more. So not probably, I will remove probably. I really think that we can achieve more. So this is the rationale behind this. And we want to do the same thing for DRC. So that was important that a significant portion of this goes to DRC, hence the reason for Amos to jump in that private placement that will really ignite DRC. So
okay, well, you've mentioned. Thank you for that, and that's essentially what I've been telling shareholders as well. But now that you've mentioned Amos and Spacecom as the lead order, explain to our shareholders why it was important to have a lead order from someone such as Spacecom.
Frank, it's a really good question and a simple answer. This shows the importance and the endorsement to our business model, our business case. Having a major from the industry to validate our business model, it's really important. It also gives us the ammunition to come back to the mobile network operator and say, look, guys, we are endorsed by one of the major in the industry. They all know Amo Spacecom. Amo Spacecom is already a client or a supplier of those mobile network operator today. And for them, it's also a way to grow their revenue. The new management have been hired at Amo Spacecom to grow the revenue. They view that as a new market segment, the rural market segment, and they believe that NuRAN is the right vehicle to get them where they want to go. And but not only this, we also show that we now have the capacity to finance those deals. So it gives the mobile network operator more confidence that NuRAN can get the job done. Not only operationally speaking, but finance-wise, we now have the ammunition to get the job done.
Okay, and to be clear, Francis, the strategy is still long-term to finance these deployments through debt.
Absolutely.
And debt at the local level. That's still so not that our shareholders should be thinking that we're going to be doing equity financing after equity financing for all these and for future anticipated NAS deals that we obviously are confident that we're going to be announcing.
So we've been pretty quiet for the last couple of months. As you know, we've ran through a lot of corporate updates, and that was not on purpose, but it's because there was a lot of work done. We've been discussing with a lot of international development banks, without naming them, and on all of these guys' lips, it was, you need to raise capital at the parent level. It's important, parent level being NuRAN Corporation in Canada. So we also demonstrate to these guys that we can be supportive to our product, but not our product, but our business model as well. So the goal for all of those contracts is to go straight to debt or to loans for those projects. So it's mainly project-based financing by large entity. We've said in the DRC project announcement that we will need $40 million. It will not be done in equity, of course. It will be supported by long-term debt with good terms that we're currently in discussion with some of those organizations, by the way.
Excellent. Okay, now, Francis, why don't we end with this? I've received an enormous amount of emails, text messages, as I'm sure you have, as I'm sure info at NuRAN Wireless has, etc., from shareholders or prospective shareholders that have wanted to participate in this financing. And unfortunately, we've had to turn many of them away, or most of them away. Why is this the case? And you know, it would have, you know, I'm sure that you would have wanted to accommodate many of these people, but why is this? Why don't you explain to our shareholders why this is the case?
We had two big investors in this current deal, namely Amo Spacecom and another big one for fairly large amount. So my apologies to everybody. We were fully booked. So that's about this. And we couldn't, I would have liked to accommodate more people, but we couldn't. So, and we wanted to reduce as well the number of shares outstanding on the market, and reducing the dilution as well. So that was that was the main goal of keeping that really tight in terms of private placement, Frank.
Okay, well, listen, Francis, I think that covers everything for now. Obviously, the company's got a lot of information that it's going to want to share with its shareholders in terms of, you know, news releases, etc. But really, the priority right now is to just get this thing closed before you start talking about other prospective things that are happening within the company. Is that correct?
Yes. So, of course, there's we've been working a lot for the last couple of months, and we will continue. We've set an objective to build 10,000 sites in 5 years. We're still on track with that objective. We want to accumulate more mobile network operator that will come with NuRAN for the same same type of projects in multiple countries, Orange, Vodacom, MTN. Those words, you all know them now, even if you were more used to Bell or TELUS or something like this. So this is a continued effort to reach our objective and to bring NewRan to the next level. One thing that we didn't touch, Frank, if you allow me to do it before we end the call, a lot of people, I've received calls myself as well, and Texto, as you know, people have been asking why you guys have put the private placement at $1.53.
That's correct.
Yeah, so people wanted to know why it's so low. Now the stock is trading higher than that. So the price reservation has been done like 6 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago. So and the stock was trading around that range, if I can say
Around
it like
$1.80,
that.
I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was an acceptable discount, and at that time, you don't know what is going to be the next day of trading and what price the stock will go. So you need to make a decision, and that was the decision. And look, the price that we got allowed us to interest companies like Amos to jump in the private placement to say, you guys are my winning horse, and we want to dance with you guys. So that was all the rationale behind this private placement. It's an important one to me, Frank. This news is more important than DRC news that we did in February between you and me. So I was really pleased to launch that PR. You know that, Frank, we've discussed that before launching the press release. You reviewed that with me. I was super excited. Of course, the market didn't react too well to this, but seriously, that was the way forward. This is how NewRan will just go out of the group and just be the running horse or the winning horse for all of those MNOs. We have received a lot of calls from MNOs to congratulate us on the private placement, and we're growing the pipeline. So seriously, Frank, it's a big news for us. Big news for us.
Yeah, you're correct, Francis. And I think that once this closes, it'll take some of the uncertainty out of the market so that we can move forward and start talking about, other developments that are happening within the company that are very, very exciting. So last burning question before we end. I know you're from Quebec City, Francis. I know that you are still crying over the loss of the Nordiques, but will you be supporting the Habs this evening? And will Quebec City be supporting Montreal tonight?
Quebec City is closed. Everybody will be watching the game, of course. So it's been since 1993 that we didn't go to the Stanley Cup. So let's give it a shot. Let's still believe in that. I'm a believer, Frank, huh? So we went through a lot of speed bumps over the last couple of years, and I'm still there standing tall and looking forward to get the job done. So the Montreal Canadiens need to do exactly the same thing. Keep on believing and fight to get what they want, right?
And let's not forget the Azzurri in the Euro, huh? We have to support our Italians. Anyways, enough of that. So listen, this was a very good update. Thank you so much. Francis Letourneau, CEO of NewRan Wireless Inc., Frank Candido, Investor Relations. You know how to reach us. We're always reachable. And thank you so much for continuing to support this company and supporting our efforts as we move forward. Thank you, Francis. Have a great day.
Thank you, Frank. You too. Bye.